Alright, let's talk about the unknown. So, the PTB's been out for a couple days. I've played it, and I actually gave myself a little bit of time to figure out if I actually hate it or if I'm actually okay with it. And I'm gonna just say it, I hate it. I think this is like the worst, like one of the worst updates they've ever done to any killer in DBD, and I'm not exaggerating. So what do I mean by that? I will just say it, the unknown changes are bad. Unknown overall got a net nerf, full stop. Every single aspect of his kit was nerfed with a very tiny minuscule update to his base kit teleport speed. Everything else is a net nerf. So the first thing Behavior did was they adjusted the movement speed penalty that you get when you tap M2. So now instead of it being a, I think 2-second window, now it's a 0.07 second window to get slowed down. If you like hold the mouse 2 button for 0.7 seconds or longer, you will start to get slowed down. So what does this mean? Every single chase, every single time you want to try and hit someone with your UVX, you are going to lose more distance. This is a full-on nerf. The unknown is now ping-based or ping-reliant, as because this window is so incredibly small to hold it, if you're playing on higher latency, or you don't have reliable access to a close dedicated server, you are not going to like the unknown anymore because you will not be able to efficiently tap his power at all. So overall, this change was not executed well at all. And the worst part is, the reason that Behavior gave for this change was that tapping the power can make it appear to a survivor that you're about to launch UVX. And this forces the survivors to dodge and lose distance without slowing down the killer. This also isn't true, and I'm very upset with Behavior for stating this and not actually executing on it in their test build, because you can still tap, you can still delay your hallucination spawns, but now unknown is just worse. This reason that they gave, you can still do exactly what they say they wanted to get rid of. So what they did is they just changed the unknown to change the unknown, and now he's just worse. If you think that you can fake UVX and you can trick survivors into thinking that you are going to fire but you don't, you cannot fake your UVX. There's a distinct sound effect, there's a distinct animation, and the killer gets slowed. And I will show you. Here's proof.
Hell no! It's not being. This is not being, bro. That's not being, bro.
So to any survivor, it's very clear when the unknown is able to fire. And Behavior's reasoning for this change is just flawed. And it shows that they don't understand how the unknown's power works. To claim unknown is a killer who can effectively zone survivors like Pyramid Head or Huntress is just not true at all. Because if you really try to zone someone, not only will they walk into you, and you might even miss your shot because you can't look all the way down as unknown, the only thing you'll get out of this is maybe an M1. So to say that unknown is a zoning killer is it's just wrong. That's not what the unknown is, and he's never been a zoning killer. So yes, the execution of this change, slowing down the movement speed, horrible. This needs to be reverted entirely. It needs to go back to the drawing board because the reasoning makes zero sense. And all of this does is nerf unknown for everyone. Next, they changed the add-ons. They changed Blurry Photo and Vanishing Box. And a lot of people also consider these changes great, and I'll tell you why they aren't. So first of all, Blurry Photo. Unknown got a pretty hefty buff to his teleport speed, so now it's a lot faster base kit. So realistically, you would think that Blurry Photo would be tuned down to accommodate and basically put it to the same value that it is on live. Yeah, that's not what happened. On the PTB right now, Blurry Photo is actually slower than it is on the current build of Dead by Daylight. So this is a net nerf to Blurry Photo as well. which is very interesting because Behavior has done this to other killers like Demogorgon. They gave him the Rat Liver add-on base kit, or a portion of it. If you still were to run Rat Liver today, you would have the exact same percentage of movement speed as you had before with the old version of Rat Liver. So I don't understand why Behavior toning down Bore Photo in this way makes it worse than the current Bore Photo, considering Behavior's history of buffing the base kit and changing the add-on to be the exact same. This doesn't make sense to me at all, and Behavior doesn't say it's a nerf in their patch notes, so I don't even know if this is intentional or not. If it's not intentional, this has got to be fixed, because Bore Photo is not even nearly as good, and there's kind of just no reason to run it at all. And then the next thing they changed is Vanishing Box. So Vanishing Box got a trade-off, which is fine. I have no complaints about that. The issue is the speed. The Vanishing Box got a trade-off of 80% decreased speed to your hallucination spawn times whenever you're running the add-on. This means that if no survivors are weakened, it will take 81 seconds for you to spawn a single hallucination. This is an absolutely massive nerf, and this literally, this makes this add-on probably D tier. I'm not even lying. It is not worth it to run at all. And it's not reliable. Anyone trying to use this add-on who isn't adept at Unknown is not going to get any value at all, and I'm 100% serious. So I think that this trade-off needs to be reconsidered to be something else, or it just needs to be lowered to a more healthy value, because 80% is extremely high, and that is basically gutting the add-on to be worthless. I understand Behavior that you want killers to run more unique add-ons and variety in their builds, but when most of the add-ons are useless, there's a reason why people use certain ones only. And I'm saying this as someone who never, barely ever uses Blurry Photo and Vanishing Box. So it just seems really weird for me for them to completely destroy this add-on. I am not denying that the trade-off is fine or is bad. I think the trade-off is fine and I don't care, but I think the value is the issue. It is way too high. It needs to go down. The next thing they did, and these are the more minor things that I want to talk about. So the next thing they did was they changed the UI. So now, like Dracula, he has 3 little icons at the bottom left instead of just one. So he has his power, which is the very first one. And then he has this weird second one, which is kind of confusing. What does this mean? You want to know what this means? This second icon is literally only telling you that you can press left click to fire UVX. That is its sole purpose, this giant square. This needs to go. This icon in particular is useless and it's redundant because the information is already portrayed at the bottom of the screen. Seriously? Why? Why is this here? The next icon is your teleport cooldown, which basically shows how long you have until you're able to teleport again. This is fine, and it's great info to have. Awesome. I like it. And the next one is the hallucination count and the timer for when you're about to spawn another one. Again, awesome change. I like having this info. It's great. This one redundant one, I don't know why this is here. What's the point of this? This needs to go away. It's just wasting space on the UI for no reason. And then finally, the last change they made is the video effects change and the new sound effects. While these changes seem kind of small at first, it's actually a little more than you think. So every time you weaken a survivor in the original version of Unknown, which is live right now, they get this hinder effect for about 0.2 seconds, I believe. I'm not sure exactly, but the point is, during this duration of this hinder where they're slowed down, they have this purple goo around them. And this basically tells the Unknown that the survivor is slowed for this amount of time. This purple effect will now stay persistent on the survivors for their entire duration of the weekend. So them changing this, on paper, it looks pretty cool, but what this does is it just gives Unknown less tracking and less information. Now it's more difficult for Unknown to tell if someone is slowed right now at a glance or not. So if you don't know the timing or how long it really does last, this will be confusing to a lot of people. So now this isn't a major thing, but I really don't think this change is even necessary, as I think the UI does a great job of explaining how weekend works. And you also have the giant purple circle around your head. The only argument I will understand is the people who say, if your weekend bar is at like 0.1%, and you can barely even see the little circle above your head. But again, I just don't understand that argument as well because it already displays on the Survivor UI if you are weakened. So yeah, and the sound effects, they're okay. I have nothing else to say. They're just sound effects. So yeah, the unknown changes. I am so upset, man. I am so upset. And I really hope that this doesn't go live. And I do believe that if this goes live, it'll be a lot harder for newer people to come and pick up Unknown and just try them out because of these sort of issues. If you do think Unknown needs changed, or if you do have certain ideas for what you would do to Unknown, definitely let me know because I have literally no idea anymore at this point. I uploaded a forum post on the Dead by Daylight forums, and it's basically running down everything I just went over. And the reason I did this was to hopefully get it to behavior, and hopefully they'll be able to read it and maybe they'll actually be able to listen and take my feedback. I do think I will continue playing Unknown, but I'm gonna be honest, if these changes go through, I might not like it as much. I'm being 100% genuine here saying this, which is pretty sad to say because I don't know if you don't know, but I've been a Survivor main for years. Since the game came out, I've almost exclusively played Survivor. So me playing Unknown is actually sort of my first reach into playing Killer because for the most part, I don't find any of the killers in this game fun. I never really have. The only one I really ever got into was Demo, and I got tired of playing Demo. So Unknown realistically is like my first killer main. I'd never had like a killer that I just like enjoyed this much. So it kind of hurts for these sort of changes to go through. So I really hope you understand why this is so important. But yeah, that's it. Thank you.